During COVID, I was in Saudi Arabia. I was working with Deloitte Middle East as a senior manager. I moved to Saudi Arabia just before COVID, 2019, and like few weeks into Saudi Arabia, you know how Middle East culture is, right? I mean, it's big houses and all that stuff. I was put in a lavish hotel working for Deloitte, but what happened is like 2 weeks after I joined Deloitte, COVID hit, and I couldn't get out of the hotel, and I was 3 to 4 months actually in one hotel room with the purple curtains all around me, working every day, but most of the color, like 80% of my day, I would have looked at purple as a color, right? And I mean, the only people I would have seen with the masks were the people who were catering me, the hotel people who were coming and giving me the food, because it's a COVID, everyone is scared of, like wave one I'm talking about. After the 4 months, when I was able to get out of, because I was not allowed to get out of the hotel, it's Saudi Arabia, strict rules, you cannot go out because you've been served already by the hotel management. So what is the need of going out, right? So they asked me, I mean, if I have to ask, like, I need to go and pick groceries and all, I mean, you've been served by the hotel, so you shouldn't go out. Because I was a foreign national, you know what I'm talking about. It's a typical situation. After 4 months, when I got out for the first time, it was such a scary situation. I was not able to, function the way how people look. Everyone was looking extremely different to me because I've not seen people, and all the colors were looking different to me. So what do you think the situation of the brain then? Like, do brain functions, because you talked about isolation, COVID and all that stuff, I can relate to it because your brain functions the way you feed in. It's almost like AI, right? I mean, the data you feed in,
yes,
the brain, AI works in the same way.
Yeah, great analogy.
So similarly, your brain is fed with some data through your experiences and all. So how do you reflect on this? My scenario and overall situations.
That's fascinating. I mean, I can't imagine. That must have been so hard.
It's very hard.
It must have been so hard. It must have felt like a prison.
Yeah, it was.
And how were you feeling at the time? Like, did you feel threatened? Did you feel how?
See, I was more conscious because I'm a family man. I have two kids. They were in India. I'm alone, isolated, obviously, in Saudi Arabia. I was supposed to bring my kids to Saudi Arabia, but didn't happen because of all these restrictions and all, right? So I was keeping myself extremely busy with the work because I don't know what to do. So I ended up working more hours because I want to occupy my brain, because at least I had an alternative that worked. But apart from when I was not working, I spent a lot of time reading and all that stuff through online. But yeah, every day I was feeling more lonely than ever.
Yeah.
So there is being alone is one element of it, but feeling lonely is another element. That's what my feeling was. But I could manage it. I came up really strong out of that, so it didn't affect me in any way. But the bigger effect that I had was how I look at the situations in general, and gratitude towards what we have. All that stuff has changed. But when it comes to brain in specific, my mind started reacting much, much faster afterwards. I don't know why. So I probably will ask you. You are a neuroscientist. You should tell me. Is it like I was prepared more for the odds? I don't know.
So when you say it was reacting faster, what do you mean faster?
So when I came out, I'll tell you quickly, right? Once I come out of, because I've seen purple as color only for some time, right? Once I came out after 4 months, I would look at any board, I can recognize colors. There's green, yellow, which I don't do normally. You getting my point?
Yes.
In my regular life, I would have not noticed colors.
Yeah.
I would have not cared about colors. I'm here. Okay, there's green, there's white, there's yellow. That is happening with me now. Post that. I would have never done it like 35 years before COVID. But post-COVID, once that I had situation, I started looking at the colors without even knowingly. So my brain functions super fast now, recognize things very quickly.
Did you stop noticing purple so much?
I did, actually.
It's so interesting, isn't it? So the brain is primed to keep you safe. I mean, its whole job is to keep you safe. keep you alive, ideally to the point that you're able to reproduce. That's its job. And so our brains are not trained for the sorts of worlds and the cultures that we live in now. They're trained over generations and generations to keep us alive and enable us to catch prey and avoid predators. And so typically when your brain is working as you described, it's taking up all the information from all of your senses and then trying to make sense of it. It's a black box. It's no idea what's going on in the world. It's just having to make sense of it based on all of the sensations that you're receiving. And so the sensations that you were receiving in the hotel room are, it's purple. It's mostly purple. There's not a lot going on. I'm not getting to see anybody. And that will have been kind of affected by, were you feeling safe there, or were you feeling threatened there, or were you feeling lonely there? And you described feeling lonely. We know that loneliness is a risk factor for dementia, for example. So social connection is what we're designed for. And so being in a situation where all of a sudden you can't have any social connections, and that social connections are somehow now related to danger, that you might catch a virus if you have social connections. This is why we're seeing so many people now finding it very, very hard to go back into workplaces. Because they, like you, had a big experience where they had to be isolated for their own safety or for the safety of others. And so your brain is now, all of a sudden, it's noticing all of the things that it's not used to seeing. It tends to notice things that you're not used to seeing much more than things that you are used to seeing. So true. And particularly if it relates to danger. I mean, people talk about the amygdala, which is that part of the brain which a lot of people describe as the fear center of the brain. It's not just for fear. It's for anything that's kind of salient. It's anything that's really useful. And so for you, all of the colour was suddenly useful, interesting, curious making.